Treasure podcast. Today with me is Bhavya, a designer with a lot of experience in 3D technologies. Hello, Bhavya. Welcome.
Thank you.
Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Bhavya. I am a product designer by profession. I recently graduated as a product designer from Hovest, which is based in Kortrijk, Belgium. I've been working with 3D technologies from the last 2, 3 years, and I first came across 3D printing and 3D scanning as a part of my uni, mainly for assignments and stuff. As a product designer, you're required to have a lot of prototypes and testing. So 3D printing became one of the main ways you can test stuff. And recently, I had the chance to explore the field of 3D printing footwear, which also became a project for my graduation thesis. And understanding 3D technologies can completely change how we see the traditional methods of manufacturing and being more creative.
So you have a lot of experience in different fields with 3D technologies. What was the first thing that drew your attention for using this technique in your university course? What was the reason that you used 3D printers over there?
The main reason is like I said, mainly is for prototyping and testing, because when you have a idea and you want to create it into a product, you can't just go for manufacturing directly. You have to understand how people are going to react with it, interact with it, and see, okay, how, are they using it the way I intended it to be used? So it's a really great tool, and to have a product at the end for you to understand, okay, this is something okay that can work.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so
So
you
it was mainly it was an prototyping tool like
yes.
any other machine in the shop,
Hmm.
but you have experience in rather a specific field, the footwear,
Yes.
the companies. Um, what is your experience over there? So 3D printing is a new technique or relatively new, and it's strange to use it in footwear.
So 3D printing and footwear started recently booming up. So it became more popular in the recent a year, 2.5 max. But people were 3D printing before, for example, Adidas and Nike. Previously, they tried 3D printing shoes, but they did not go that well in the market. But from the last few years, there's a company called Zellefel based in Germany. And what they do is they take these designs and convert them into 3D printable footwear, and they sell. And yeah.
So everybody can design a shoe, and this company will 3D print the shoe.
Yes. So with this company, it's not a designing studio or a place where they design stuff, but rather a place where they have printers and the scales and stuff where you can manufacture a shoe. So the individuals like me, what they can do is we can design our own designs and submit our designs to this company called Zellefel. So what the Zellefel does, they engineer the shoe, put meshes, make it perfect for slicing
Hmm.
softwares, and then they put the printers. They have custom made printers for them that are specifically designed for making shoes. So and then you can get them, or you can sell them further. So but
So it are really shoes for use. It are not shoes as prototypes. So
no,
it's really a manufacturing
it's
company
yes.
that prints the shoes so
Hmm.
you can wear them yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So not as prototypes.
No.
No.
So I think prototyping, that's a big misconception among people, thinking that 3D printing is only from prototyping. But as you see in recent times, a lot of companies and startups are switching over to 3D printing as a way of manufacturing,
Hmm.
because any traditional manufacturing methods, for example, injection molding, requires a lot of investment cost initially to make all these molds and stuff. But what the 3D printer does is like it's just one investment cost,
Yeah.
which is a printer and the material itself. And then you can have an in-house production line. People have print farms all across their backyards, and like they just begin and they just
Yeah.
start manufacturing. A lot of people also sell their stuff on Etsy's. So just design something, put it on Etsy, and they can sell it.
And they can sell it. So you think this 3D technologies will have a huge impact on the manufacturing market of the footwear or
Uh,
the shoes?
I think yes, because a traditional shoes is made up of so many different materials, and they have all these glues and stitches. So recycling them is a really tough job. And seeing now, a lot of people are becoming more conscious about sustainability and
Hmm.
recycling, and they want to get into like products that are made from recycled materials, be more uh, ecologically more sustainable.
Yeah.
And with the footwear comes, it's a mono material, so it's just made with one
So
material.
one material is used if you use a 3D printer to manufacture the shoe.
Yes, because it's made with TPU. It's a mono material, so it just becomes way easier to recycle because you can just take a shoe, it breaks down, take the shoe, shred it, and reconvert it back into raw material.
Yeah.
So you're
And you
done.
can use it to print
Print
the
again
next shoe.
the next shoe.
Okay.
And with TPU, the efficiency of recycling is really high. So up to 95% of the TPU can be recycled.
Okay, so it's a very ecological material.
Yes.
So not only the cost of the material can be reduced by recycling it, but also you don't have to throw it away.
No.
So it will be better to reuse it for the nature. It will be better
Yes.
as well.
Yeah, there are a few companies now in Europe itself. What they are trying to do is they have these specific plants based in their own companies, and they do is collect these TPU based or different filament based materials and with them, and they recycle it in house and then reconvert it back into raw materials.
Yeah,
So it's a proper chain from trash to recycling and the new materials.
it's a closed circuit.
It's a
Closed circuit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very interesting to hear because now we see that ecological jobs will be more important. The green jobs will be more important. So you believe that even in the shoe industry, these green jobs can be used if you are interested in 3D printing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the material is reusable, recyclable.
Yes.
So we know that this can have a really big impact on the industry. That 3D printing as a manufacturing tool can have an impact. Are there going to be a lot of jobs created if we want to do this change in the industry?
As recently, if you see in the market now, a lot of companies are hiring specific people who are specialized in 3D printing and these three technologies. So, for example, there's this company based in Germany. What they're doing, they're hiring a 3D printing engineer. So it's really specific, and people are getting more understanding of these skills now, how 3D printer works, what's the story behind it, the mechanisms and everything. And as you see in the future, you're going to have these material engineers because as time is going by, the advancement of these printable materials getting better because you're having so many options from where we started with just PLA. Now we have PLA infused with carbon fibers and all these different.
So these are different materials.
Yeah, these are different materials.
Yeah.
So as you can see, we are getting more and more different materials now, and it's becoming easier for everyday consumers to have different type of materials for these objects. For example, like for shoes, you can say TPU, and when you see TPU, you have different type of TPUs, from a bit stiffer softness to really soft. And in recent times, we also got this type of TPU called Very Sure. So what it does is, depending on the temperature you print, because you can adjust it. 3D printing is mainly about like melting the filament and then depositing it in layers. So what it does, you can adjust the temperature of the nozzle every time, and it have different softness depending on the temperature. And that's one of the main materials that's also used in 3D printing footwear.
Yeah.
Because when you see a shoe, you see the sole, which is has to be a bit more stiffer in the front for the push. But when you come at the heel, it has to be softer for the landing. And the upper is quite soft, so it's breathable and all those things.
Yeah.
So you see, okay, these materials are getting advanced, and you have these printing engineers. People are getting skilled just based on slicers.
Slicer, this is a kind of program that you need to 3D print, or?
So a 3D printer mainly works through a slicing software. What it does, it takes objects and divide it into these layers. And this is mainly done using a slicer software. So, and when you buy a printer, usually the same brand of the printer, they have their own softwares. But shoes is a field where you require custom printers, custom slicing softwares. So people are directly hiring engineers to do this specific job.
So I see that not only there is like the scientific part of the jobs that are created, the material knowledge, then the engineering part, the machining, but also software is a very important part of the 3D printing in the industry.
Yeah.
So even if you want to become a scientist or an engineer or a software engineer, you can find jobs in this specific field.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think because also a material engineer is not just like, okay, you do engineering, you do coding, and because they're specific, you have to understand how material works and know how to make a new material out of it. So anyone from different fields can come into this field. For a software engineer can come into slicing, like you said.
So even a software engineer can find his position in the footwear industry if he is interested in this kind of stuff.
Yeah. So I
Yeah, yeah.
think the 3D technology, what it does is it just unites all these different fields together,
Mm-hmm.
because you also see it's like a collaboration of everyone, as engineer to maybe a designer. And for example, even the orthopedics, for example,
Yeah.
when you have those insoles, a lot of companies what are doing now, they are 3D printing insoles
Mm-hmm.
for your shoes for people who have flat feet and different stuff.
Yeah.
So you also need a medical person who has the skills and can understand what are the requirements of the patients,
Yeah.
and they can directly tell the designer or the engineer, "Hey, I have this particular requirement, so design this," and then the doctors and these people can test them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just everyone.
Everybody can work together
Yeah,
in this industry.
yeah.
So I hear talk about doctors and stuff. So is there like a proven medical reason why we can use 3D printers instead of mass production shoes?
So traditional mass manufactured shoes are made with the same design, so they have the same silhouette and they
Mm-hmm.
just repeat it again and again. So they are not specifically made for someone's feet.
Yeah.
If someone has a medical condition, for example, they have to make a custom made shoes for them. They have to find people who does that, and then they get the shoe.
Mm-hmm.
But what does 3D printing does in this field is that you can scan your feet through 3D scanning, and then the shoe is directly made for your feet.
Yeah.
So the
It will fit perfectly
it
for your
fits
feet.
perfect. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. So
Even if you have two different feet, you
exactly.
can.
So naturally, our feet are not symmetric,
Mhm.
obviously. So like, there's gonna be a big difference, not a big difference, but a small difference
Yeah,
in the length or the width. And 3D printing, you scan it, and just it's perfect fit for you, and uh, adapts to your feet also over time. And if you have medical condition, for example, for any reason, so it just gets better for you,
yeah,
because finding shoes with a medical condition is so difficult, because you have to go to a specialized person who can make it for you. But 3D printing, it's just normal. Just
yeah,
scan, print, you have the shoe.
yeah. So it would be possible for you to make a specialized shoe for anybody who comes to you,
Exactly.
because I heard you talk about doctors and engineers and software engineers and
Hmm.
everybody. But is it very difficult to start with 3D printing? If I want to design my own shoe, is it very difficult for me to start with this?
No, actually, no, because there are two main things that you have to do. One is to understand how to model. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to know some modeling softwares and understand how designing works. So, for example, me personally, I use Rhino for
Yeah,
my most of my modeling, because it's easier. And there are softwares online also that people can buy and work around them. And the second investment would be a 3D printer. Now, printers are getting cheaper and cheaper because the market is demanding more.
yeah,
So obviously, the more the demand, the price gets lower. And so I personally have a Bamboo Lab A1, and it just costs 300 euros. It's not that big of an investment compared to other fields.
yeah, yeah. So it's even if you compare it with an injection molding machine, it's very cheap
It's
to
very cheap.
start.
Yeah.
Um, and so this is like the technical stuff, the machines. So I need to learn 3D drawing, 3D
3D
modeling,
modeling.
you called it. And I have to buy a 3D printer.
Yeah.
So and with these two things, I can start designing my own shoes and start printing them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah,
much. A lot of people, what they also do is they have their just one printer. They design their own and they just sell it through different platforms. For
hmm
example, Etsy over Instagram. They have their own website. They just sell. They don't even have to go to like some third party company for be like, hey, I have this design.
yeah,
Can you please print this for me, and pay them and that extra cost? No, just buy a printer. Start from one.
yeah. So young entrepreneurs can really start by
Yeah,
themselves if they are interested in this branch of the shoewear market.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you
So
don't need big investors
no,
who or big places or big companies who invest in you if you want to start with this.
no.
No. So
So
really, everybody with a couple of €100 and a couple
yeah,
of months time to
hmm,
learn this modeling software can really design their own shoe.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So, are there other misconceptions about this 3D printing? Because maybe we thought it would be very difficult, very, very expensive to do. Are there other misconceptions? Like, what I think is the shoes are not that good,
Hmm.
is maybe a misconception I have for the
Okay.
moment.
Yeah. I think one of the big misconceptions also I had initially was, okay, 3D printing is only for prototyping.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as we talked, okay, for the starting investment cost, it's getting cheaper and cheaper. What a lot of people are doing, especially for startups, instead of investing into these mass manufacturing companies,
Mm-hmm.
going to China and contacting them and these making these 10,000 euros of molds and stuff, they're getting 3D printers making small batches, and the cost of investment is really low for them now because you don't have to make bulk orders to get the
Mm-hmm.
cost lower. The main cost is electricity and the material
The
itself.
material itself.
That's it.
Yeah. Can you give like an estimate price of a shoe you made? If you have designed the shoe, so
Yeah.
what does a shoe cost if you have to make it now?
So because 3D printing footwear is comparatively a really new thing in the market
Mm-hmm.
right now compared to the old traditional ones, because of which the material is a bit expensive because it's still in the testing phases. New materials are coming up in the market. So I designed a shoe recently for my graduation thesis that costed me around 60 euros, the raw material
In production.
in production.
Yeah.
So the raw materials, the electricity, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And but I can sell it for easily like 150, 160,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the normal price right now
Yeah.
for a 3D printed shoe.
Yeah.
And also traditional shoes are right now at the same price.
At the same price, so it's
one-third
not very. The price
difference.
difference is not very
No.
very big
But
for the moment.
yeah, for the moment. And when you see in the future, upcoming future, you'll see that materials getting cheaper, more printers are in the
Mhm.
market, the demand's high, the cost is going to go down.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a shoe even for cheaper. For like I made the shoe for 70 euros. Maybe in 2 years I'll make it for 50.
For 50 euros. So you see a lot of potential for young people to start learning about 3D printing
Exactly.
or something that is close to 3D printing
Mhm.
in this branch of the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for example, like me, I focus on more footwear because that's
Mhm.
where my I like doing. Footwear is my go-to space.
Yeah.
But for like an upcoming student or people who want to go into 3D technologies, they can go anywhere
Yeah. Yeah.
because 3D technology is a vast thing. You don't have to specifically be like I do this and I have to be stuck with it for
Mhm.
life. You do 3D printing, you can go anywhere from like we talked about mass manufacturing. You can just work in a startup company,
Yeah.
help them produce these goods as selling products in the market,
Mm-hmm.
or you can go into a company where they do prototype and testing.
Yeah. Yeah. So you see the options are
The
there.
options are a lot.
A lot.
There-
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think that is very interesting to hear.
Mhm.
So I hope we can like engage a couple of young people who want to do this. Do you have some last tips and tricks for people who want to start with 3D printing or 3D technologies in general? Some tips maybe for them.
Maybe I would say 3D printing is a lot about experimenting and
Mhm.
learning how it works and making your ideas in hand. Because you can have an idea in the morning and by the evening you will have it in your hand. And okay, maybe you don't have the money to buy a printer right now, but a lot of places are opening up with these Fab Labs.
Mm-hmm.
So what you can do is find a local Fab Lab in your city, go there, be like, hey, I have the design, can you please produce it for me? And it's really comparatively cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So just experiment, learn how things works, and it's great.
Okay. I think we can conclude this podcast with those wise words. So thank you for the talk. Is there anywhere where people can follow you or see the things you have made or projects where you worked on?
They can find me over my Instagram. My Instagram is called ab.studios, and I usually post all my projects and my ideas on daily basis over there.
Okay, so nice tip is follow Bhavya on Instagram. So thank you for listening, and we'll hear each other in the next episode of this podcast.